Looks like we're live.
Hey. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
You have to get back up, or did you do it already?
Oh, no, I hit record already. We're good to go. We're a little off on the thing.
You want me to move it?
No, I think we're okay.
All
That's
right.
not a big deal. Reason I have it on that instead of on the table with us is I noticed.
Anytime something that you do.
Yeah, it was bouncing and the video was bouncing. So hopefully this is better, guys. Of course, we have a lot of headroom, and that's kind of a no-no in TV. You're not supposed to have a lot of headroom.
Is this too much headroom?
Way too much headroom. It looks really kind of weird, actually. But if I adjust it, then yeah, we're fine. We'll fix it for next time.
We can lean it.
Yeah, but then we'll...
And then we'll have more table room. You want to see what's on my table? Oh, yeah. That's not bad. Even if you cut the top of the crown off.
There. Now we don't have as much headroom. And now you see everything that happens right here. Right there.
Right here.
Coffee. I don't have a drink. They didn't have any drinks out there, and I don't want to drink a Monster drink.
Somebody even commented on your post and said, Bobby, make sure you have a drink.
Sorry, they don't have any drinks here for me. I need to remember next time. Maybe they have something in the refrigerator. We'll see.
All right, well.
All right. You ready?
You start her out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Eric Early. Cave, that was stupid. Early. Comes to work early, stays late, and
yes,
always prepared. That was weak. Sorry, guys, that was a weak one. I'll think of a better one next week.
Next week will be better.
Yeah. So anyway, we're here with episode 44 of the Disc Golf Answer Man. You'll kind of notice something a little different. Well, not different, but not
different.
something maybe that you didn't expect.
Yes.
And that is that Eric is here and not at the Japan Open.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit what happened there, Eric. I know you posted on your Facebook page.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy there for a while. I was getting these headaches again. I had gotten them a few years ago, and they just started coming back in full force. And I had in the last week, I've probably had 4 to 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they're not just like, oh, I got a headache, I'm going to take something, and they're gone. You know, I wake up with a, gut wrenching, throwing up all day, headache, can't see straight, doesn't go away till I go to bed that night.
Yeah. And
it was just been miserable. And it was the night before we actually went to Kansas City and stayed in a hotel, and we decided, just go to bed early. Maybe I'll feel better in the morning so I can catch my flight. Well, I stayed up most of that night feeling like dookie, and woke up the next morning, could barely see straight, and just decided, the Japan Open will be there again, and I want to take care of myself first. So I wanted to come home and get it checked out, and I have an appointment this week, actually, to go in and get some blood work done and all that fun stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Well, definitely your health is number one. Disc golf will be, like you said, disc golf will be there tomorrow. But we want to make sure that you are feeling your best.
Yes.
So, yes, I remember coming home one time for lunch, and you were on the couch, and I could tell you were in pain. So yeah. I knew you were having one of your bad migraines. So
yeah. No bueno.
But it's good to have him here so we could do a Disc Golf Answer Man for you guys.
Yeah,
so.
For you. And for Micah Moon winners.
Yes, tell everybody what's going on with that.
South Austin, how you guys doing down there? We have some new viewers today.
Yeah, buddy.
And Micah Moon Winters, he's a good friend of mine from Austin, Texas, and he runs a series called Micah Moon Madness, and it's a match play event.
Okay.
And it's the very first ever amateur Micah Moon Madness, and it's going on in South Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So he's given me the names, asked us to draw the names out and pick the first matches.
Nice.
So we have I believe it's 16 names in the cadet. I was going to say commander bag, but it's a cadet bag. in the cadet bag,
And you can
and
get this beautiful cadet bag at dynamicdisc.net for only $14.99.
in 5 different colors.
5 different colors. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, anyway, let's get on to the match.
Okay.
All right. First match.
First match will be
Darren Lippert versus
Derek Clark.
All right, that's your first one.
All right.
And let's get in here deep. Oh, I've got John Dorothy.
John Dorothy against.
Against.
Against, okay.
Against.
I would get the weird. Okay, Mike Aureliano. Aureliano.
Cool.
All right.
That's match 2.
That's match number 2.
Moving to number 3. Chris Thompson.
Chris
Thompson, you're gonna battle it out with
Josh Benhart.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Josh.
That's gonna be a good battle right
Josh
there.
and Chris.
He's got a lot of heart.
No, that was bad.
I'm sorry. All right. Number 4, we've got Jimbo Lamb.
Jimbo Lamb with Jared Gibb.
Jared Gibb. That'll be a fun battle.
Yeah, it would.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is it's a good deal here. We've got Steve Homer
Simpson
versus.
Why
Why does everybody say Simpson after Homer?
Because it's like he's an icon, Homer Simpson.
He is an icon. So are you, Steve Homer. So are you.
Steve Homer versus Andrew Meyer.
Andrew Meyer, Steve Homer.
You better watch out, Andrew. Steve is on
Donuts and Duff Beer.
Donuts and Tough Beer.
Jason Arnold.
Jason
Arnold, you're going to battle with
Jorge Linko.
Nice. Very cool. All right, and James Tran. Tran, maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe either James Tran or Tron.
We'll call you Tron because Tron is awesome.
Against Casey Flato.
Boom.
Casey Flato.
Well, there you guys have it down there in South Houston. Good luck. May the best man win. And thanks, Micah Moon, for letting Disc Golf Answer Man pull your names here.
Awesome.
Good luck, fellas.
All right. So now that that's taken care of, let's move on and let's talk about some product that we have to show. We will start with what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, let's get rid of the cadet.
Okay.
All right, so just in case you haven't heard, then for some reason you're not plugged into Facebook because Latitude 64 came out with their new DG Luxury. I still haven't figured out what the DG stands for.
DG?
Yeah,
maybe
maybe disc golf? Just kidding. So, dang good luxury.
Dang.
So, this is obviously a backpack style bag from Latitude 64. Has a lot of room for sure. How many discs can you fit? I know
quite a few. I mean, there is tons of storage in this thing with this bottom compartment.
Yeah.
Let's let these people see too. This bottom compartment here, the normal backpack compartment, you can hold, I don't know, 19
at least
discs probably in there. Then you've got one putter pocket here, which can be used for a putter or maybe your go-to mid-range for there. And then up top, like some of the other bags, there is a zipper pocket that can be used as storage. There's a lot of room in there, but you can also put a putter in there.
There's a fly,
rain fly
that you can snap on there just in case it starts raining.
Yep. And then actually on the side, I believe, is an actual putter pocket right here by the chainware.
Yep.
And there's so many compartments in this bag. It's, compartment over here, over there, down here, over there. It's water bottle over here. One really cool thing about it is right here on the side, it's got a spot for either your stool or what I really liked was the umbrella.
Right.
And if you go to the Dynamic Discs Facebook or YouTube page, you can look at Tomas's in the bag, and he kind of gives more detail into this bag as well.
Yeah.
And shows with the umbrella going in, and it's got a hole cut behind this pocket here, and it'll go down in this compartment, and you can actually be open when you're playing, when you're carrying it. So you don't even have to hold your umbrella.
Right.
The bag holds it for you.
So then, yeah, then you got and then you got the little pocket here to carry stuff. Another pocket up front here.
Nice little like your scorecard in the front.
And of course,
mini pocket.
The back has some padding in here, so it's a little comfortable on your back there.
Yeah.
Adjustable straps here. Little clips here for, I guess, carabiners if you have things you can hang off there. So just a really good all-around disc golf backpack bag, and this is right now retailing for $199.99. So a pretty good price for a backpack bag.
Yeah, really not that bad. It's about the middle, not quite.
Yeah,
maybe toward the lower end on the expenses.
So definitely, I know that we have them at dynamicdiscs.net. So I'm sure that some other retailers as well.
I know we got 200 of them in originally, I believe, and I know a lot of people were confused by that, thinking that there was only 200 made.
No.
But I want to stress that is not the case, because we are getting another bunch of them in soon to ship out. So I just wanted to make sure you get that clear out there, that there's not only 200 of these made.
Right. So make sure you check with your favorite disc golf retailer to see if they have the lat bag. If you can't find it there, obviously we'd love for you to go to dynamicdiscs.net.
Dynamic Discs has them. And I know I saw on Facebook this morning, I believe it was, that the Sweet Spot was doing a promotion on it as well. So you can maybe go to the Sweet Spot on Facebook and check it out there.
Nice. All right, so what do you got over there as far as goodies?
I've got a Fusion Enforcer.
Boom.
And the Lucid one is something that I've been loving. It's been one of my go-to discs, especially in the wind. But there's been no wind here. It's been ridiculous.
That's weird for Kansas.
Yeah, it really is. But the Fusion line, it tends to be just a little bit less stable.
Okay.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
That just means it's going to get a little bit more distance, because this thing is still really overstable.
Yes. So if you're in love with the Enforcer and you like the Fusion plastic, you definitely want to pick it up, and maybe just pick it up just to kind of try it out, see if you like the flight that's given to it by the Fusion plastic. But they all feel nice, and
it's very nice and crispy, bright colors.
Oh, it's
really
always
cool stamps.
Really bright colors. Yeah. So definitely pick one up for sure.
Pick one of those up. And then the next thing.
The next new thing
is the Hex Missalin from Latitude. And, I wasn't sure what to think on this. I know Tomas, when we had Tomas on the show, he brought one, and we showed it and talked about it a little bit, not a lot, because we didn't know much about it at the time.
Right.
And if you look really close at it, I don't know how you're going to be able to see it, but it's got little hexes in it. And it's kind of like, think of a golf ball. And it's on almost all of the disc. It's on the bottom of the rim. It's the only place it's really not is on the bottom flight plate, and there's two on either side of the disc, like thumb tracks almost.
Yeah.
But they're not really thumb tracks, because it's the plastic. So it's where if you look right here, lefty grabs it here, righty grabs it here.
Right.
If
so
that
like
makes sense to you. And it's I don't know if he did it just to try something new, to see if it would add some more speed, add some more distance, or glide, whatever. The disc is pretty fast and pretty stable. It's not ridiculously overstable. We'll probably put a video out soon, I would imagine, of us throwing it. But I've been throwing it the last couple days, getting out and trying it out, and throw it pretty flat, and it holds the line pretty well. And it always seemed to finish back to the left. So
just some facts, and that's what I was looking up here from an email from Tomas. The Missalin stands for, or is translated to the missile. And so he says it is a project that Latitude 64 has been working on for a while. It features the hexagon-shaped cavities in the surface of both the top of the disc and the rim of the disc.
Yes.
The bottom of the rim. This pattern has been tested to be the most efficient in reducing drag and making the disc fly extremely fast.
Nice.
The speed is notable, especially when the disc lands. So it's kind of the same thing as the dimples in a golf ball, is that it reduces drag.
Mm-hmm.
These are the official numbers, the flight rating that was sent by Tomas.
This is cool because a lot of people don't know this.
Right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Speed is a 15.
15.
Glide is 3. Turn is 0.5. And fade is 4.5. Now, the one thing that I want to stress is that, yes, this is a fast disc, but don't misunderstand fast speed meaning you'll get more distance out of the disc.
Exactly.
Speed does not equal distance. Now, that doesn't say that if you can make this thing fly as fast as it should go, that you're not going to get distance.
Mm-hmm.
But don't think that automatically, just because you buy a Speed 15 disc, that you're going to automatically get more distance. And explain that kind of, Eric, to people.
Well, it's speed is also determined on your arm speed.
Right.
It's not just we both go out and throw this disc at the same time that they're going to fly the same, identically the same,
Right.
the same speed, the same everything. So it's I don't necessarily recommend being a beginner or even if you're in your first year of the game to go out and pick up these 15, 14, 13. I would go out and pick up the 9s, the 10s, maybe an 11 here and there, but keep it slow and even pick up mid ranges because high speed discs are not easy to learn to throw.
Right.
And if you go out and you straight up learn how to throw this high speed driver, you're going to struggle trying to throw mid-ranges and fairway drivers and everything like that. So,
and I mean, just going back to my beginning, I remember, I had been less than a year, and all I ever heard was back then was Innova Destroyer. You got to have a destroyer, and I had a destroyer, and I hated it because I couldn't throw it. I didn't
all
have
it would do was go left.
Yeah, I didn't have the form. I didn't have the speed. Even now, if I picked up a destroyer, I could not make it do what a destroyer is meant to do.
Destroyers it's a great disc.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a great disc for the right person.
Sure.
But so is the Diamond.
Right.
It's a great disc for the right person.
So what I'm saying is if you are a big arm or if you think you got the arm speed to make this thing go, you definitely want to give it a try to see if you can make this disc work for you.
Yes.
But definitely it's going to have that fast speed for you.
Something else is really cool about the this run of deco dies. It has the like the deco die from it's kind of like the Dimax version. For Latitude, they're all numbered.
Oh yeah,
they're numbered 000 001 through 999.
Nice.
So there's 999 of these made right now. So these are going to be quite the collector at some point.
It's etched in the back just like the weight, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's etched in the back of the plastic and pretty
and
cool
you
stuff.
are holding number 99.
99. It's funny. I went through the box the other day to try to find a couple lower ones. And I couldn't find them, and I just got tired of looking, kind of, and I actually found, I think, number 2.
Ooh.
And it was really weird, but I found 666.
Ooh.
It just looked cool because it was 666 999. So that was it. Just it was kind of cool.
All right, cool. So the Michelin will be available. We know it'll be available at dynamicdiscs.net starting June 6th, which is this Friday.
This Friday.
Cool. So make sure you stay tuned to the Dynamic Disc Facebook page when let you know exactly when the time of day that'll be available.
Yes. Something else I think maybe we should talk about just a little bit.
What's that?
July 12th.
No, we can't talk about it.
No?
No, it's over. No more. No, just playing.
No?
Yes, we are going to talk about it.
It's not happening now?
It is happening faux show, and it's going to happen big time. What we are talking about, if you are not a Dynamic Discs fan and you're a first-time listener, you should know what we're talking about if you listen to us at all. But yes. July 12th is the disc golf experience at AT&T Stadium, and we are super pumped about this event. In fact, now we can tell you guys more information if you haven't already heard or seen the video or read it on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter or Google+. I've tried to blast it just about everywhere. If you are excited about this event and you've seen the video on Facebook, make sure you share that post to help spread the word.
Please.
So what's happening is we are going to, on July 12th, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., you will get 3 levels of what you can do. And we're going to start out and tell you about the family experience. And what the family experience is that for $15 you get to come in and do what's called a self-guided tour. And now it's a tour that's normally there that you can go be a part of.
I'm not sure exactly what that price is on that, but I know it's not $15.
If you go to the website that talks about AT&T tours, the price is $17.50.
Okay.
So we're charging you
close.
$15. Yeah, it's cheaper. So what it is, you come in and you do a self-guided tour, and you get to tour parts of. Now you don't get to tour the entire thing, but you get to tour parts of the stadium. You get to see the Cowboys locker room,
The cheerleaders.
the cheerleaders locker
locker
room.
room.
You get to see the Miller Lite Club, and I think
Yeah.
that's kind of like a place where people go and drink and party.
It's where the
during
high
game.
dollars go and hang out.
Then you get to see the interview. Okay, so
This is really cool. The press conference
yeah,
room.
when the games are over.
You know, when Tony Romo's sitting there crying. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
had
Chiefs
to put
fan.
that, yes.
I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm sorry.
When you see them it being interviewed, it's actually right like off the field, right when they get off,
Yeah.
and they go into this big room that's got all these chairs for the media.
Right
and-
past their locker room.
Yeah, like right past, and so you'll get to walk in there and see what's going on. Now this is what's really cool. The club or bar
That's so awesome. That
that's
it's
right next
there.
to it.
It's
So you could
glass
be
wall.
you could be drinking and watching the interview, but it's soundproof.
Yeah. It's soundproof because after every single game, there's people in there that have been drinking, I assume,
Well, yeah.
and just banging on that window and trying to razz
Yeah.
the players getting interviewed. So,
So
but it's so cool. I had
just
no idea that
yeah.
that was right there, that you could see it, and it's man,
Yeah.
it's experience. That's
So,
the $15.
That's the $15 experience. So you get to do that little tour, and then you get to and then you'll be able to kind of spectate, watch what everything else is going on. So the next level is going to be the Players Pack experience.
Yes.
Now that's $30. Now you get to be a part of the self-guided tour, so you get to do the whole tour thing. Plus, you'll get 2 commemorative discs, and then whatever else we throw in as a Players Pack. So if you want to be part of the tour and see the stadium, and then you want the 2 discs. Now we're still kind of working on the stamp for it.
Yes.
We got to get approval and get it all worked out, but it'll be a commemorative of the event, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll get to have that to take home or to throw. Have we decided? We've decided pretty much what discs they are.
They will be truths, judges, and wardens.
Right. So
and
good.
you'll get either a judge or a warden.
Right.
And a truth.
Right. So some good discs for a good price.
Yes. Yeah.
And good.
They're going to be. I mean, the value on these things are just going to skyrocket.
Oh yeah, because of the event they're associated with. So again, you get for $30, you get to do the self-guided tour, locker rooms, player interview room,
hang out at the bleachers.
Yeah, hang out, get some food and drinks.
Yes, the concessions will be open.
Yes, concessions will be open for you to purchase your food and drinks, and then you get the 2 discs, and then for the full experience,
Boom.
You get the self-guided tour, you get the Players Pack with the 2 commemorative discs. And you get to take those 2 discs and you get to throw them in the stadium.
No.
Yes. So what we've been able to do, and now you guys got to understand that we want a lot to have happened there, but there were certain guidelines we had to follow. Understand.
Well, Jerry Jones's house is very expensive.
Well, yeah, it's very expensive. We can't have people throwing discs at the Jumbotron or just throwing things everywhere. So they allowed us to set up 9 baskets. And what we've done is we set up a course that will kind of intertwine on the field, go through some of the tunnels, and then back onto the field. So you're going to be throwing discs not on the stadium, in the stadium, through the tunnels.
On the field. And don't think that, there's some shorter holes. Because, they're putters and mids. So, there's going to be some shorter holes. But there is also a 300-footer.
Yes, there are some long holes.
So there's some pretty good, decent holes out there.
Yeah, so you're gonna test some of your skill. Now understand that this is a exhibition event.
Yes.
It is not PDJ sanctioned. It is not a competition per se. Now, of course, you're going to keep score, and we're going to have different prizes, I believe, for different things that are going on.
Some different things.
Yeah.
Yes,
But it's not going to be like a tournament you come to,
mm-hmm.
and it was what we were allowed to do. Now, I'm going to say this. If this goes over really well,
yes,
who knows what will happen
if
we're allowed to do it again.
Yeah.
But it's based on how well this does.
It's based on how some of the people behave.
Right. If we come in their house and we trash it up, we're not going to be. They're not going to invite us back. No. So anyway, we're so super stoked about it. You can get more information at our website, dynamicdisc.com. Watch the video. Go to our Facebook page. people are answering questions. Eric gets on there and answers people questions. I try to get on there and answer some of the questions that come on there. Even on Instagram, I know people are asking questions on the little post I put on there.
Yeah.
So if you've got any questions,
and one of the main
No, go ahead.
questions that I've been hearing, or complaints, I guess, that
Yeah.
I've been hearing is, oh yeah, they're going to charge you $50 for parking too,
No.
because that's usually what it's
Well,
going to
yeah.
cost to park it to come to a football game.
Yep.
Parking is free.
Free.
That's amazing.
You come park and play.
Yep. Come park, come in, have a good time.
Now I know, and I guess we can go over a few of the questions that people have asked.
Yeah.
Like I know one of them you brought up was, can my friends watch me while I play?
Yes.
Your friends can come in and they can pay the $15 for the family experience, and they can watch. Now they can't walk out on the field and walk around with you. In order to do that, they need to do the full experience.
But they will get to check out some of the field with the $15.
Right. Well, there's the way it's set up is where the concessions and some of the stands where you'll be able to get to, you'll be able to actually watch the action happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the tour, they can check out the locker room, and then they can come back and they can watch everything that goes on. In fact, if they pay 15 and at 6 o'clock, they can stay all the way till 11 and just watch everything that happens. But they cannot go out on the field with you
and get drinks
and
refreshments,
right, and stuff like that. So
and from the stands, there's 5 holes that are on the actual field.
Oh, yeah.
5 baskets that are actually on the field. So you get to see all but 4 of the tunnel holes. But
you'll see
the tunnel holes because on the tour you get to go through some of the tunnels. So you'll get to see everything, but you just can't be on the field throwing without your wristband.
Right.
So
and then another question that I know that's big is, will it be televised? No.
Oh.
And I'm with you.
Yes.
I am sad that it can't, but we are not allowed to do any video. I am, however, allowed to do photography. So I'm going to have millions of pictures. I'm going to be taking picture after picture after picture. So you'll be able to watch that, and I'm going to try to have something set up where I have my iPad with me and set up so that it'll send pictures to my iPad so I can kind of post things as they happen.
As it's happening.
But for the most part, it'll be kind of like later on that day I'll post all the pictures and upload those. So no, unfortunately, we are not able to do any video of the event.
I did put a video out.
No, Eric did post a video because he was able to record some throwing that he did. So definitely check out his Facebook page and his YouTube channel
page.
To see Eric throwing discs in the stadium, and that was
really
cool.
fun.
And I'll admit, I got to throw discs too, and it was. I'm telling you guys, I know some of you guys are out there. Oh, we're not going to be able to do this. I'm like, dude, just to be able to toss a disc in there, because we were even practicing some of the shorter holes.
Mm-hmm.
Even that was just.
It's just fun.
You've got this huge jumbotron. You've got all these. I mean, it's amazing.
It's very cool.
Wait till you guys get there.
It's just an experience, and it's not like dynamic discs. And I know I've seen this question out there. It's not like we're making lots of money on this. Matter of fact, we're probably losing some money on this situation because it's not cheap.
Right.
To get that place.
No.
And we're doing it for promotion, for to get disc golf out there to, who knows? Because the radio stations in Dallas are all advertising it. AT&T Stadium is advertising it, just like it's one of their normal events. They have Pee Wee footballs and all that good stuff going on out there. So pretty cool stuff, guys.
It's cool
pretty
stuff.
Cool stuff.
We're excited, and I know you guys won't be disappointed. It'll be a very fun experience for sure.
So get signed up.
Get signed up right now. Where do you sign up? You go to dynamicdisc.com, and it's just like a regular tournament registration. So go to the tournament page in July and get signed up.
Who wouldn't want to be inside in
a
July?
Football stadium.
Well, that in July.
Right.
In Texas.
Right. That's true. It's going to be
195 degrees outside.
In the shade.
In the shade.
All right, so I think that's all we got. So let's get right on to the questions. You guys ready for the questions?
Got a few.
Okay, we're loading. Okay, that's it. Okay, the first question is from Henrik. Henrik says, "What do you putt with? What weights, colors, and plastic?"
Good question. Currently, I am putting with the McCabe Mercies, and the plastic it's a zero hard plastic, but it's really not super hard.
Yeah.
They're a little grippier than the normal zero hard plastic. So, And as far as weights go, anything 170 and up is pretty ideal for me. Now, I will say I had been practicing with some 150s, and that's not a bad idea to keep one of those in the bag for a lot longer putts, or if you have a standstill putt that needs to go a long way, because it floats forever. I was amazed at how much glide they had.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But typically 170, and color really doesn't matter too much to me, although I've won both my majors with blue putters, so maybe I should get some more blue yas.
There's something
But yeah,
there, maybe. So tell everybody, though, why do you pick the harder plastic?
I typically pick the harder plastic mainly because most of the events I play, it's super hot outside, and I don't like necessarily the soft feeling. I feel like I can't get a smooth flight out of it.
Okay.
And I feel like when it hits chains, it doesn't grab as much, and I just feel like it's a more pure flight with the harder plastic, the more grippier plastic in my hand.
Nice, cool.
So I will keep a soft something in my bag if I go play a course like De La Viega, or somewhere that has a lot of cliffs and drop-offs.
Right.
And when I'm laying up, to throw a softer putter at the ground so it kind of catches instead of pops and has a chance to roll.
That makes sense.
So.
All right, the next question is from Peter, and Peter says, "What is currently in your bag, Emac?"
Oh.
Well. We actually have to finish his U.S. in the bag version, so maybe tonight or tomorrow night?
Yeah, we'll get it done. Yeah. We'll get it done this week.
This week we'll get it done. So things we started it, got some of it done, and as usual at DD, things just start going crazy.
Boom, 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 boom,
and
boom.
So we'll get that done, Peter.
Started going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So yeah, and then once we get that, obviously it'll be on the Dynamic Disc YouTube channel, and then I'll probably give the file to Eric so he can put it on his YouTube channel, so he can spread it out that way, and then it'll be on the DD page.
It'll be everywhere. You'll find it.
It'll be at your local grocery store.
Oh.
All right, the next question is from our guy, Tom Reese from TR3 Limited.
Nice.
I know I've mentioned it before, but Tom, you take some really cool pictures.
Yes,
you took some really good pictures at the Glassbone Open this year. Make sure you go to Facebook and search for TR3 Limited and check out all the work that he does.
Yes.
Okay, he says, "Hey, Eric and Bobby, let's say you are in a new town and only have an hour to grab a bite between rounds, and you only have time to grab fast food.
Ooh.
What would you,
Sorry.
What would you pick to maintain your energy level and not get dragged down by the greasy goodness?" Wow,
that's
is pretty deep.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, usually I'm prepared.
Yeah.
No. Usually I like to map it out, and spend the days before it when I'm practicing, actually. Not just practicing the courses, but practicing my routine on tournament day.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it's 2 courses, or even if it's 1 course that I'm practicing, I go to that course, I practice somewhat early, and then when I go eat lunch, I try to go somewhere, pick a spot,
right?
And if, in a course, sometimes it does happen to where, bummer, there's only a McDonald's and a Burger King, or, and that's never fun, but most of the time I've been fortunate enough to find like a grocery store and just go in and get some fruit, some nice veggies or something like that just to munch on. Or one of my favorite stops for lunch is usually like Subway sandwiches.
Right.
And you can usually get a nice cheap sub, and it's not not big on your stomach or anything like that. But yeah, that's a good question. But as far as like if it's only those 2 choices, like if it's only fast food, I'll try to go in and get a chicken sandwich, a grilled chicken. Most fast food restaurants offer a grilled chicken or something along those lines. So
I would say definitely.
How about you? You're the food expert.
I'm the food expert. Definitely, it would have been better to plan ahead, Tom. So shame on you. But no, I'm just kidding. I understand that circumstances happen, and sometimes you don't have a lot of time. So yeah, you definitely don't want something heavy. You don't want like pizza or Taco Bell or barbecue, something that's going to weigh heavy on your stomach, because
Oklahoma Joe's.
That's good stuff. Because what happens is as soon as you start eating, your body immediately says, okay, time to engage on digestion, and it kind of forgets everything. Well, it doesn't forget everything else, but everything is now toward digestion, and so your body's going to concentrate on that, and you don't want that kind of weighing you down.
And running for a porta potty.
Yeah, running for a porta potty. Now, let's say that all you had time was to go through a drive-through, and that's it. That's all you have time for. I honestly, this is what I would suggest. Getting, like Eric said, like a chicken sandwich and not eating fries.
Yes.
Don't eat the fries. Don't get a pop. Get a water.
Drink lots of water.
Drink lots of water. Pop may feel refreshing, but in actuality, it tastes good. But actually, it is not as refreshing as the same amount of water.
And all that.
Yeah, it's got the sugar.
Gatorade's even not
Gatorade's
really good
still
for you.
Gatorade is really meant for the high intensity sports guys.
Mhm.
Even then, there's some argument that Gatorade really isn't all that great. But if
unless Gatorade's watching out there,
right? Unless you're watching,
you guys
and you
are
want to
wonderful.
sponsor our tournaments. That's a good point. Maybe we'll get a water sponsor.
You,
yeah. But yeah, if you're playing just a round of disc golf on a regular day, Gatorade is overkill. Too much sugar, too much junk in there. Straight, just a nice glass of water. And you might be saying, I don't like the taste of water. Well, grow up. Water's perfectly fine.
Water
so anyway,
have a taste.
Get like a chicken sandwich, and you might not even eat all the bread. Eat only half the bread.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of that bread because a lot of that carbs, it just turns into sugar in your body and has the same reaction of sugar. Interesting fact, it has nothing to do with disc golf, but maybe alongside this question.
Okay.
And I'm going off on a tangent though. But did you know that 2 pieces of whole wheat toast has the same sugars and sugar effect than 1 candy bar of Snickers?
What?
Yes, 2 whole wheat toast. Everybody thinks wheat is nutrition.
Gluten.
Whole wheat toast has the same sugars as a Snickers bar.
Are you serious?
Yes, your body takes the carbs and everything in it and turns it and it has the same effect as sugar. So
I should start making sandwiches with Snicker bars.
I guess if you're going to go down that road, you can do it. One time I had at the fair, I had a hamburger made of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It was nasty. It was not as amazing. Of course, I think the meat was like very, very poor meat and just not good quality. So anyway, all right, that's too long on that one question. Thanks, Tom, for the question. No, hopefully that'll help you out. All right, the next one is from Nicholas, and Nicholas says, I would love to know more about the Trilogy line, since there are so many molds out there from which to choose. How about adding a short segment where you choose a mold from one of the 3 companies and describe how it flies, what it's good for, how it differs in the different plastics, and an overall review of it. You can pick a new disc or 2 each week. Maybe you can each choose one and describe your thoughts on it. Keep up the good work. Well,
nice.
Nicholas, if you've watched or listened or watched the last maybe 8 episodes, we've sort of tried to do that.
Product review. It's typically new stuff coming out.
Yeah, but a couple times we picked some old school discs. So definitely, if you haven't been able to listen to maybe the last 8 or so, I would definitely go back
and watch. And you know that brings me to something else. If you go to the Trilogy fan page on Facebook.
Ah, yes.
And if there's a certain disc you have a question about, like for instance, if you want to know what the Northman flies like, everybody on that page is quick to help you out with their thoughts on everything. So yeah, shout out to those guys.
Yeah, go to Facebook and search, and if you just search for Westside,
it's Latitude.
Oh, okay.
Latitude Westside Dynamic Discs.
Yeah,
fan
search
page.
for that, and it'll be a fan page. You can join, and like you said, everybody is very helpful and ready to answer. So if you got a specific question about a specific disc, that is definitely the place to get some really good feedback.
We'll continue to do our reviews.
All right, the next one is from either bass or bass. Bass man or bass man. So either he likes to play the bass or he likes to fish for bass.
Maybe both.
Maybe while he's playing, he has the line on. Nice. You do a banjo song. Oh, we have more jingles. Oh, we forgot to talk about the jingles.
Jingle.
We need to. Okay, next week we're gonna have a specific date where you have to have your jingles in because we've got about 5 of them.
Jingle.
And I'm sure people are waiting to hear about those. So next week we'll talk.
Eric and the Breeze.
We'll talk about a specific date of when the last jingle can be in. All right. So I'm sorry. So back to bass man. He says, can't wait to see footage from AT&T Stadium. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but we are not allowed to shoot videos.
You'll get to see pictures.
You'll see a lot of pictures. He says, Dynamic Discs is doing a fantastic job with social media. Well, thank you.
Aww.
Because I do the social media for... Well, Eric helps out. Eric always helps me out. When there'll be times he'll post something on Instagram. And, oh, yeah, I forgot Instagram. I got to get something out. So thank you for doing that, Eric.
Yeah, of course.
For catching up on my Slack. He says, pat you guys and gals on the back.
Oh, yeah.
So, thanks. He says, how do discs fly indoors? I've played ultimate indoors, but never a mid or driver. I'm assuming discs are more understable in the dead wind of the stadium. what disc will you bring to the event?
Well, I didn't really. In the video that I posted on my personal page, I was throwing a Lucid Truth,
Mm.
and I honestly didn't notice any difference in flight, just if it was a calm day out.
Oh,
You know, I didn't really notice it to being less stable or more stable or anything like that. I noticed I could really rip on it on that football field though, because I was throwing it through the uprights from one end zone to the other, so that was a lot of fun. But no, I really didn't notice any difference. And what was the last part of that question?
he said, I'm assuming.
What discs will we bring it? Yeah, we've talked about the Truth, Judge, and Warden are the three that are going to be available there. And unfortunately, we will not be able to throw drivers.
Right, we can't throw drivers.
They're just kind of concerned with, there's some exit signs, and they are concerned with it screwing up the turf.
The turf and the chairs. I mean, if
the chairs.
they
Yeah. Well, we don't. We hopefully nobody throws it in the stands.
Well, yeah, but a driver could be a little more unpredictable than a mid. So yeah,
a little more forgiving.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is from Uncle Mojo. Uncle Mojo says, "Hola, Eric and Bobby. Uncle Mojo here. Putter question or two. Bobby, what do you putt with? Eric, I putt with max weight blend Judges, and I'm having trouble with the fade the Judges have. Would lighter weight solve the problems, or should I change putters? Keep calm and disc on." So real quick, I'll tell people what I putt with. I putt with the Judge.
The Judge. Which one? There's like 5 of them.
It's the hard Judge. Classic Judge. I have 2 of them. I only really rely on one. And I'm starting to incorporate what Eric said with my putters, and that you have one putter that you putt with, and then you have one putter that you do more of approach shots.
Yep. Never throw your putter.
Never throw putter. So that's what I'm incorporating. Now I do have a Fusion Judge from a while back when they did some special stamps on the Fusion Judge, and I love that thing.
Was it the GBO one?
No. Remember that one that it says Judge in all kinds of different colors?
Oh, yeah.
I use that for my approach shot. And yeah, it's Dymax, and man, that thing is so straight. I love that Lucid Judge, and
Judge is a great disc.
Yes, and I love my classic Judge for sure. I used to have a GT Banger, then I had a KC AVR, and of course when DD came out with their discs, I grabbed the Judge, and I haven't looked back.
Yep.
So.
Well, I'll tell you what, Uncle Mojo.
Uncle Mojo.
I had the exact problem when the Judge first came out. I loved it. It's a great disc. I still have one in the bag for throwing, but the fade problem you have at the end, I had the same thing. I would be missing, anything from 25 and in I was fine with, but then I started getting back from 20, 25 to 30 to 40. I would putt and it would just die before it got there. It wouldn't quite get to the basket. Well, I needed something just a little straighter, so I picked up a Mercy. And the Mercy has been wonderful for me. It doesn't have much of a bead on it. It has like kind of maybe a micro bead, nothing serious, but nothing like the big bead on the Judge. But the grip on the disc is great, and I started banging my longer putts because it was more familiar to me on what I used to putt with.
Right.
And so it definitely is straighter than the Judge. And so it didn't have as much fade at the end of the flight. So maybe you ought to try out a Mercy. Give a Mercy a try.
And that goes along stresses that the Judge is an amazing disc.
Yes.
It was a 2013 Disc of the Year, but it may not be the disc for you now because it's it won an award. The possibilities of it being a disc for you is good.
Yes.
But you never know. So, if you see somebody throwing a certain disc, give it a try. But then don't get too upset. Maybe it just doesn't work for you at your point in your disc golf career or your play or whatnot. Yeah. All right, the next question is from Luke, and Luke says, "Hey guys, love the show." Well, Luke, we love you. I have a question for EMAC Daddy.
All right.
Oh, is that like our child or something?
EMAC Daddy.
EMAC Daddy. Okay.
Mac Daddy.
EMAC, no.
Like the Mac Daddy, yeah. Daddy Mac, crisscross.
Return of the EMAC Daddy.
Remember?
Return.
Jump, crisscross. Okay.
Wow, you went old school.
I did.
Do you
Did
ever?
You know one of those guys died?
No, what happened?
I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Was he walking backwards in his clothes? Fell off a cliff backwards. Anyway, okay.
Showing our age here.
Yeah, you have to be older to know what that refers to. Anyway, he says, do you ever miss throwing Discraft plastic? Also, was it hard to convert to the Trilogy team? Love the show.
Well, yeah. Absolutely, it was a tough transition for me because I threw nothing but discraft for a decade. A decade's a long time.
Long time.
And for the first, I mean, in of course my finishes last year's show, in that it was rough, missing certain discs, not as much anymore. There's a few times where I'm at a part where, man, I wish I had my whatever, like, and the main thing, the only disc really that I had that I haven't found in the trilogy lineup is the banger.
Really?
And the judge is very close, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have that thumb track, and I don't
Right.
think the thumb track is what I liked about the disc. I think it was more of the flight of the
Okay.
disc, how it flew, and it was just predictable, and I just really enjoyed it. I think I was one of the only pros, except Michael Johansson, that actually threw the disc, and he still throws them, so he has a lot of my old bangers. But no, I don't necessarily miss Discraft at all. I love them. They treated me great for the decade I was there, but things change, and I couldn't be happier
Nice.
with my change.
Of course. The next question is from Snuggle Bear.
Oh.
Getting creative with the name, folks.
Mhm.
I love it. Not. Okay. Teasing. Okay. He says.
Is that Snuggle Bear is this the detergent
Yeah,
bear?
oh, maybe he wants to sponsor.
Yeah.
And we can be sponsored by Snuggle Bear and give away detergents at every tournament. Everybody will come clean and fresh smelling. All right. He says, "Hey, E Daddy and the Breeze Daddy."
That works.
All right. I wanted to put my name as Snuggle Bear because I wanted to hear you read it.
There you go.
Well, you heard it, Snuggle Bears. All right. He says also, I'm throwing a Magic, but I want to switch to Trilogy plastic because I love how the focus is to grow the sport. Any suggestions?
The Magic.
The Magic.
The Gateway Magic.
Okay, hold on. He says, also, I carry 3 putters in a round. How do you know when to use different ones? Do you have one for inside 30, the one for outside 30, and one for long-range drives? Thanks for the feedback.
Right on. All right, Snuggle Bear. Well, the Magic, I would say maybe try out a Warden. I know the Warden is closer to, I don't know, maybe a Warlock in the Gateway lineup, but just in grip and feel. But I'm pretty sure it's fairly similar to a Magic as well. And 3 putters is great. I carry 3 to 4 putters in my bag, and I have one specifically for throwing up shots.
All right.
And I have one that the other 2 are pretty much the same for putting. If one of my putters is not quite on that day, I'll switch it out and play with the other one. But it's the same molds. So I stress having the same molds in the bag as always, especially with practice putting. But typically, no. If I'm inside 30 or if I'm outside 50 and I'm putting, I'm using the same putter.
Cool. All right, sounds good. The next one is from Taylor. Taylor says, "Hey, Eric and Bobby, been listening to your show since day one and loving it." Well, thank you, Taylor, for being a loyal listener. My question is one of deciding how to construct your bag. I'm a big proponent of mold minimalism and don't like having a lot of unique molds, but I'm running into a quandary with big distance drivers. I throw Boatman and Northmans, but it's time to step up in speed. I was wondering what 2 molds you'd suggest to give me the 3 shots needed: headwind, tailwind, and no wind.
Sounds like my bag. I mean, with the exception of the Northman and the Boatman, but just keeping it easy.
Oh, okay.
Keeping it
Like, then
simple.
it's nothing like you.
Keeping it simple and
Right.
not having many molds.
Right. Yeah.
Havoc. I can't.
Ooh,
The Havoc is amazing. It's a fast. It's high speed. It's far. It's the longest disc I've ever thrown.
Yeah.
Ever. And I turned Denise onto him actually, and she carries like 4 to 5 of them in her bag now.
Yeah.
She loves that disc. So check out a Havoc for. It's going to be typically for your tailwind shots. You don't want to throw it into too much of a headwind, but if you get enough hyzer on it and don't really put a lot of pop on it, it'll work. So that's going to be your more tailwind disc. Headwind disc, I would recommend. It depends. It depends if right now if you're throwing a Boatman's a great headwind driver. So maybe you would like the Giant or the Enforcer. One of those 2. Check out one of those 2 discs. I prefer. If it's a big headwind, ripping the Enforcer out there because I can throw it hot and flat, and it's going to go. And one more driver that I could recommend would probably be, man, there's so many to choose from. It's so hard. Well, just out of my bag, the Trident is another one that I throw. And the Trident is more of a utility disc for, it doesn't go very far, the Trident, but you know where it's going to go. So, the Trident's a great fairway driver, something I would recommend. So maybe check out those 3 discs.
Cool.
Definitely the Havoc, though. I can't stress that enough. Pick up a Havoc.
All right, the next one is from Anton, and he says, "Hey, Eric and Bobby. My problem is that I'm pulling a bit behind my body and not on an exact straight line, even though I thought I was. I've been now trying to pull on a straight line, but that of course requires me to take the disc further from my body, which feels awkward, and I feel like I can't get much power to the throw. So my question is it necessary to have the pull in a straight line from reach to release, and do you have any tips for straightening the pull?"
I don't necessarily think it's a huge deal, especially, some of the courses we play, you want to throw big hyzers over something. If you're throwing a big hyzer, a big anhyzer shot, then you're typically not throwing it on a straight line right across your chest. But it sounds like your timing is just off. And the best way to fix that is get out there with your camera and film yourself throwing the shot. And really concentrate on getting your hips through. Because as soon as you start popping your hips through, that's when you're going to notice the top part of your body, your chest and your shoulders, following through as well. And I've noticed with Bobby, I remember back a while ago when we went and played, that your hips weren't going through. And I think I mentioned to it, get your hips into it, and you picked up a little bit of distance.
Yeah.
So, and another thing to stress is don't concentrate on really smashing the disc right away. If you're working on timing, just go out there and throw them nice and easy. Grab a stack of mid-ranges and excuse me, and just go out and just throw your mids, just nice and easy. No need to really just pop them when you're trying to work on timing. So
cool. All right, let's go to the next one, which is from Wreck Rob.
All right, Rick.
All right, Rick. Need to step up. Sandbagger. No, I'm playing. Wreck Rob. Yeah, Bobby, it's Wreck Rob, a nickname given to me a while back. I need to read the questions before I react to the names. It's a nickname given to me a while back. Long story, maybe some other time, LOL. So the question is this: putting in tournaments. I'm an advanced player, and in casual or practice rounds, my putts come out flat and spinning fast. During a tournament, though, that all changes. I go from lasers spin putters to what I can only describe as a wounded butterfly. Disc spinning so slow I can clearly read the logo. Wow. Wobble and flutters like a butterfly. I know it's probably mental, yes, but since EMAC, you're a spin putter, what tips can you give to get past them nerves or whatever might be going wrong and make those putts? Any advice would be great, and thanks again both for all of your hard work.
Absolutely. One thing I can definitely tell you is before an event or before you're going out to play with your buddy, play catch. Just simply play catch, back and forth. It really will get your timing down. If you stand further apart and just like putt back and forth, it gets the motion down, and it honestly makes it a lot easier when you're standing there at a tournament situation and you have to make that putt. If you can just mentally put yourself in that, oh, this is easy. It's just like playing catch with the basket, just like playing catch with my buddy, and you will be surprised. I mean, how many times have you picked up your buddy's disc and just thrown it to him, and it boom right to him? Right. If you can use that mental aspect on the course when you're putting, and I can't stress that enough. Just play catch. It's such an easy and fun thing to do. It's really easy to learn. I was going to say, and as far as the wounded duck or butterfly thing going, it just sounds like you're definitely not putting spin on the disc,
right?
Which just means you need to maybe put a little more wrist in it, and just tell yourself, commit commit to the shot. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
I'm
You know,
sorry.
I tell myself that all the time.
I know, but I remember the one time you yelled at me.
Oh, in Ohio at 2010 M Worlds.
Yeah, I was putting. No, you said putt like you give a.
Same thing.
Same thing. Commit. So yeah, Rec, I think I know what he's getting at is that when you're out there playing catch with your buddy, what you're doing is you're practicing.
Yes.
And that's what it comes down to, is practicing. And that's why in football you practice those plays over and over, so that as soon as the quarterback calls that play, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. Not because you know it, it's because you've done it so many times that
repetition.
It's instinct.
Repetition.
Right, repetition. So you've got to practice. And I know you're thinking, well, I practice a little bit. No. If you really want to overcome the tournament jitters, you've got to practice so that when tournament time, it's just like you're out practicing.
Play like you practice, practice like you play.
Yeah, so get out there and practice. Next one is from Base Bassman again, and he says, when does Dynamic Disc expect to sell the Latitude 64 Michelin? Excited to try the dimple disc. Like golf, the dimple effect could have a big effect on the performance of the discs. Extra question for both Eric and the Breeze. What is your opinion about this disc, even though you have never thrown it? Well, actually, Eric has, and this question, based on time, it may have been more, before. Anyway, I know that Eric has had a chance to throw it since this question was sent in. So, what do you think, Eric? Oh, we answered your question at the beginning.
I was going to say, hey,
June 6th, usually 11 p.m. Central but make sure you stay tuned to Dynamic Disc Facebook page to know the exact.
Friday.
But it's definitely Friday.
And I talked a little bit at the beginning of the show about the flight of it, and it was fast. It was definitely a fast flying disc. It wasn't as overstable as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was throwing it out there with pretty much an Anheuser line, almost full power, and it would hold the Annie line and then always finish back to the left. Pretty fast. And actually, if you go to my YouTube page, I did just a quick video of me throwing, like, I think 4 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Just real fast on a hole here, and so you can go there and check it out and just kind of see the flight pattern on the disc. And of course, Bobby and I will go out at some point and film more detail, better camera, better zoom. You can see the disc and all that good stuff.
And I know someone on the YouTube page, I just saw a comment that said, "Can we see it up close?" So I'm going to try to get close. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the dimples on it. Hold on.
Dimples.
It's not dimples. It's hex.
Hex.
Cavities.
Hex. Can you see him? Can you see him? Well, you can see that's the thumb where you're supposed to grab it right there. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. If you show it by the stamp, like in the stamp, maybe the
See how the texture.
yeah, you might be able to see it better in the Deco Die one. Like in the there you go. Hex. Michelin.
This Friday. So you can kind of see, I think you could see some of the lines, and that's where the actual hex was. And it's definitely, when you're not have your thumb on the part where you're supposed to place it where it's smooth, you can definitely feel the hex cavities.
It's cool. My only concern with the hex is if I throw it into a big mud puddle.
Oh yeah,
and I don't tend to
clean it.
Dry my discs off that easy, or it gets dirt. I take a hose to them.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, but what? I'm sorry. I'm concentrating on the next question. Okay, so the next question is from Uncle Mojo again, and he says, Uncle Mojo here. Will there be a stock stamp EMAC Mercy?
Ooh.
That would not make it a EMAC Mercy.
It's
right.
Well, there won't be necessarily a stock stamp of it. Like, it's not going to be only my signature disc like the Lucid Truth is.
I gotcha.
But it is. I've got a run of them, and I think there's 300 of each stamp. I've got 3 stamps out. The first one is out now. You can pick it up at dynamicdiscs.net, and that's the first one. Then the second one will be out sometime this month, and then the third one will be out the next month. And if things go well with them, we'll just continue to put out EMAC Mercies.
Nice.
So,
All right, the next one is from Colby. Colby says, I have two hobbies, photography and disc golf, which leads to the questions for both Eric and the Breeze. Eric, what is your main grip for forehand shots? I know you don't throw them a lot, so if you don't have a favorite one, what is the most popular one on tour? I tried to stack my two fingers, but can't seem to keep the wing up when I do it. Suggestions?
well,
You want to show them?
on forehands, it really depends on the shot I'm throwing. If it's a power forehand, which you know me,
Not much power. No.
I never throw them.
No, yeah. Never throw them.
Usually I'll do the stacked, and not necessarily stacked. Like stacked means the two fingers are stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Usually how I'll do it is just together, both fingers on the actual flight plate and my thumb pressing down
Okay.
on where the flight plate and the rim meet.
Okay.
And that's the grip for that. And the other grip that's out there that you can do is called the power grip.
Okay.
It's where you take your pointer finger
Mm-hmm.
and put it on the rim,
Okay.
and take your middle finger and put it on the rim a little further down.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of weird. It
yeah.
feels weird, but you can get a lot more power on it, but
Okay.
I don't have much of a sidearm. If I'm throwing a big, powerful sidearm, I'm probably just going to throw a turnover.
Okay.
But you try it. Feel it.
So this is the way.
That's how I do it.
Okay, so what I have two fingers stacked on each other, and the one middle finger is just sitting on the rim.
Yes.
Then I have my thumb on the top.
Yes.
And I'm just pressing down, and then I would just
smash.
And then the other one you said like this.
Like that's the one. Feel
Okay,
it.
so all
And then put this on the flight.
So this.
Yep.
So I my middle finger is kind of turned a little bit so that
So it's on the rim.
on the rim rather than on the
Flight plate.
Flight plate, and then the point finger is bent a little bit. Oh wow.
Huh, I'll be
I
darned.
might have to try that. Cool.
And then you can do it this way too,
Okay.
if you want. You know what I mean?
Really?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Eric. Now people are going to go try that and go, what the? What? Okay. Oh, wait. The next question is from Colby. Colby's. Oh, no. That was. Sorry.
That was
stupid.
Colby.
That was his first question. His second question, which is for me, he says, The Breeze, I believe I heard you were a Canon shooter. So what is your favorite lens to use when shooting action disc golf shots?
Oh my! I thought he meant you like to shoot cannons. My bad. I forgot the first part of the question. That he was
the
a
photographer. Yeah,
and-
yeah. I like to go out and shoot cannons at buildings and blow them up. Now, Canon being the brand name of the camera. Yes, I used to have a Nikon, and I decided to try Canon. I really like the Canon. I have the Canon T4i. Now it's kind of it's not really the top end professional. My next one will definitely be more of the top end one, but this is kind of an entry level for me. And honestly, the lens I have is just I don't even know the type. It's just a 75 to 300. It was just a basic one. A lot of the equipment that I have right now was just kind of stuff that I started out with, with Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. So it was kind of the entry level, what I could afford on my own. And so I really like it to zoom in. Obviously, I don't have to be close to the action, and so that I don't disturb people when they're driving or putting.
Yep.
But the only thing I don't like is the focus is not as fast as I'd like it to be. I usually use my 55 to 125 zoom lens for that more action shots because it's much faster focus. And when you're up there trying to catch people driving off the tee, you got to have fast focus.
Yes.
Otherwise, it won't work right. So, but my next camera will be a much bigger investment now that obviously my full-time job is this, and I want to make sure I invest all that I can in that. And we'll go over it, and when I get it, I'll talk about it here on the show.
Maybe
we
should do an in the bag with Bobby Brown.
I've
his camera bag.
I have had people ask me to do an in the bag.
In your camera bag?
I don't know.
Actually, I like that idea.
That's cool. Yeah, we might have to do that. Next one is from Don. Don says, Eric, could you please talk about the grip pressure for your power grip? Where is your thumb pressure? Is it more over the index finger or more toward the small and ring fingers? I've heard that I should not hear a snap when I throw because it indicates a loss of speed as the disc leaves the hand. For me, forward pressure feels more natural, but results in a snap, and a rear pressure over the little ring finger, /ring finger, result in a quiet release. I've noticed the most good players have a very quiet release.
Yeah, except Valerie Jenkins, who has the loudest snap I've ever heard in
Yes,
my
she
life.
does.
I don't think necessarily, I think, yeah, that could be part of losing a little bit of pop on it with that snap sound. And for me, the power, I don't throw with the power grip ever.
Okay.
I throw with what is like a modified power fan grip. So a fan grip is when you have all four fingers on the flight plate
Okay.
on the bottom. Well, the three, I guess. These three here.
Mm-hmm.
And then your other one's kind of turned over the rim. But and then the power grip is when you have all four fingers on the actual rim of the disc. You can really feel the power of the grip on there. But anytime I threw like this, I would get some distance, but sometimes I didn't know where it was going.
Oh, really?
So I like to do a little bit of a modified where my index finger is right around the rim of the disc. So right where the end of the finger bends
Mm-hmm.
is where the rim is. So that's the last thing it touches on my hand. And my other three fingers are tucked underneath, almost on the rim like a power grip, but they're fanned out slightly on the flight plate.
Okay.
And the reason I do that is for consistency. I'm more into having a consistent shot than a distant shot, I guess you can say.
Right.
And as far as the grip, the power, where it comes from, for me at least, where all of my grip and pressure is coming from is from my thumb to my index finger. And sure, I do have a little bit of grip on the ring finger, and the pinkies just kind of hangs out there. But between the ring finger and the middle finger, that's another spot where I like to keep it nice and gripped, where I can, not to where you can rip the disc out of my hand,
Okay.
but to where you can't just tap the disc and it comes out. So just nice, firm, like a firm handshake kind of thing.
Okay.
You don't want to do it too terribly hard, especially when you're just first learning how to throw distance.
Cool. All right. The next one is from your B-boy from Los Angeles.
All right.
All right, B-boy. Oh, no, he just says boy. I added the B. Your boy. Wait, I said it completely wrong. Your boy, B-Love from Los
B-Love.
Angeles. All right, so B-Love. Let's see what you be asking. E and the Breezes. Talk to us about forehand rollers. What is the best way to learn? How far out should they be thrown before they hit the ground? And what is a good disc for that shot? Same discs we use for backhand rollers? Thanks in advance.
Usually, I don't throw a whole lot of forehand rollers. If you see me throwing a forehand roller, I had probably the most awful drive you've ever seen, and I'm in the junk somewhere, and I'm just trying to get out. But usually, you're going to want to have something a little bit more stable than your typical backhand roller, because your backhand roller, when you put it down, you want to put it down at the right angle to where it'll go, and then finally turn over to the right. And it's the complete opposite with a forehand roller. Because if you want the forehand roller to go to the right, you need something more stable.
Okay.
It's kind of like, it's no different than a disc. Like, you have something stable, and you throw it right-handed backhand. Which way is it going to go? It's going to go left. So if you throw it forehand roller with something stable, it's also going to go to the left. Or, sorry, to the right. It's going to go to the right typically when you're throwing it forehand, right hand. If you put it down like this, if it's an overstable disc, it's going to go toward the rim.
Okay.
Unless you put a huge amount of angle on it. But it's a tough question for me to answer, because I really don't throw a whole lot of forehand rollers.
Okay.
Except, like I said, to get myself out of the jail or whatever. But usually you're going to want to put it down, not too terribly far, probably 50 to 60 feet in front of you. And just try to get it out there on a nice angle.
Nice. All right, the next one is from Radlin. Radlin says, "Hey, Eric, the evolution."
All right.
And Bobby, the brink of destruction breeze. Well,
Brink of destruction.
Brink of destruction. This is for Eric. How long does a pair of shoes last for you?
Oh, that's a great one.
I've been playing a lot the last few years and need to replace my shoes quite often. Thank you guys for helping grow the sport. Keep up the good work.
Shoes. Shoes are
huge
a disc
topic.
golfer's
Yeah.
worst nightmare. this year has been kind of weird with my shoes. Last year and previous years, I've been sponsored by a shoe company called Cushy, and we kind of not necessarily had a disagreement or anything. We just kind of parted ways when I found out that Dynamic Discs is going to be making their own shoe line, and so I wanted to concentrate more and really try out their shoes. And we've been getting in, samples here and there, and I've actually we just our last shipment of samples we've got in. They only sent us one sample, but they sent us a couple lefts and a couple rights. So I just grabbed a couple different shoes, and I've been using those.
Yeah, but did you know they had holes underneath on the bottom?
Didn't even know that.
They drill a hole in the sole.
For what?
So that you can't use them as regular shoes because they're samples.
Yeah, well, I'm using them.
Well, no, I'm just saying don't go.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Back up off me. Back up. No, I'm saying if you go in the water,
you're
going to get your feet are going to get wet.
Yeah. If you go in the water with a shoe, you're probably going to get wet anyway. But
well, you know what I'm saying.
I do. So usually a good shoe, if you go out and buy like a top brand, like a Solomon shoe, which is what I have played in the past, a good Solomon or Merrell will last you, it depends on how much golf you play, really. Because, if you think about it, we're dragging these pieces of rubber on concrete.
Like dragging them.
Yeah. Look at my toes.
I know.
They're awful. But, so usually, if I get 2 to 3 months out of a pair of shoes, I'm pretty happy. So that's why I've typically steered clear of paying $180 for a pair of shoes. Yeah. But, it depends on how much golf you play, really.
And that's really what comes. I've seen threads on Disc Golf Review, on PDGA, people just complaining about shoes. But then I'd see someone say, "Oh, I have those shoes, and they last me for almost a year." And again, it depends on how much do you play, the way your form. If you drag your feet a lot, yours is obviously going to wear out. But and if you guys have ever played high school sports.
Yeah.
Soccer, football,
baseball.
You go through shoes very fast because you're constantly using them and wearing them out. So yeah, it's not unheard of for disc golfers to go through shoes a few months at a time. It all depends on how much you wear and tear. Even if you buy the $125 Merrells, or if you go buy $30 Walmart shoes. Now, obviously, the Walmart shoes will not last as long as the Merrells, but you can expect those $100 shoes to last for years and years to come, like your shoes that you only wear when you go out.
Yeah.
Or your shoes you only wear when you're running to the grocery store. They're just not going to last as long because they're not getting as much use. All right, the next one is from Adam. Adam says, "Great podcast, guys. I have 2 questions. Firstly, why do so many manufacturers show the profile of their discs on their website? After all, every disc is identical when viewed from above. Second question, I've been putting with a medium wizard with great success. Unfortunately, due to PDGA cracking down on the stiffness of them, Gateway no longer manufactures my favorite disc." Really?
What disc?
"I've been putting with a medium wizard with great success. Unfortunately, due to PDGA cracking down on the stiffness of them, Gateway no longer manufactures."
That's weird if it's a medium.
Yeah.
And it's too stiff.
"Is there a comparable putter from the Trilogy lineup that is either the same or even smaller lip? I bought a Sinus, or Sinus, some people say, but with its large, sharp lip, it's great for approaches, but I have trouble putting with it." Well, first to your first question, why do manufacturers show the profile of their discs?
Why do so few?
Huh?
Why do
so few manufacturers show? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's just probably a matter of time and efficiency.
And I think a lot of it is they just kind of want to show. You look at that. Oh, that's the Michelin.
Yeah. And
I think a lot of times if you click click on the logo on our website, does it show the profile view or on our disc reviews? I know it does.
Now we're building our like video reviews that you do, and so not all of them, but a few of our discs. If you looked up Escape, and you'll see Escape. If you click further in there, you'll see a little video box of Eric explaining the Escape and throwing the Escape. And we're building our library of that. Obviously, we're going to start doing that with the Trilogy. I don't know that we'll ever go to other manufacturers because...
Probably not, because we have so many Trilogy discs. By the time we get done,
we're
going to have other discs that are coming out.
So, you'll get a little bit more on information on that. So I imagine the reason why other companies don't do it, or other places that sell discs is just out of time and efficiency. What do they call it? Opportunity cost in the business world.
Yeah.
To you, it may seem logical to put more pictures showing all kinds of different angles, but to get those taken care of and those done may seem like it does only takes a few minutes for you to snap a few pictures of on your iPhone, but it actually, to really get a professional look and to look nice, it takes a lot longer. And so it would be more beneficial for a company to work on other things rather than the time to do all that, when there's other sources for you to find out specifics about the disc.
Yeah.
And so his other question, what do you think? What is a good trilogy disc for him to try?
Well, he said a medium wizard, and he said the PDGA is cracking down on it due to stiffness. So I'm guessing the medium wizard is not like the blend, like our medium.
Yeah.
So I would say that what you need to try out is the Judge, because the Judge has a similar profile, a bead, similar to the Wizard. So I would definitely go out and try out the classic Judge.
Okay.
I think that's probably what you're going to be looking for.
Classic Judge.
Classic, the harder ones.
Nice.
Which we have 3. We have the classic soft, and the classic blend. So definitely, if you want the hard, try the classic.
All right, the next one is from Jason. Jason says, "Mick Easy So Breezy." Can you? They're really coming up with some interesting names. Can you describe for us the most common injury ailments touring professional experience? I would call it wimpiness. No, anyway. Anyway, he says, what do they do to recover while on tour, and what do you do to stay healthy?
Well, for me, at least, last year, for instance, I had a back injury. And I think most of the disc golfers, when they have injuries, it's either their backs, shoulders, or knees. Because, I mean, there's a lot of twisting and stopping and turning and all that going on. So there's definitely prone to injuries that way. And to stay healthy, I have a chiropractor that I visit. And anytime I'm in town, I try to go visit him, and so he can get my back straightened back out, which is probably due to some of my headaches. At least that's what it used to be from.
Yeah.
Having a back that's kind of twisted a little bit. If you've seen any pictures of me, I don't recommend trying to do my form. But so yeah, I just try to stay healthy by visiting the chiropractor and eating right when I can, and exercise.
Yep.
Exercise is so important, and I'll be the first to tell you, I'm lazy sometimes. I can be lazy, Like, for instance, this morning. This is a perfect example. Denise wants to start getting up and running in the mornings, and I'm like, no, we did it yesterday, every other day. And then she left, and she gave me, like, this little guilt trip thing on the way out the door, and then I ended up getting out of bed and chasing her down. So, but no, exercise is definitely key. If you want to reach those goals, you gotta stay on top of it.
Yes.
You gotta make goals for yourself. If you don't have goals for yourself, then it's kind of pointless.
Right. Big shout out to Denise too, because she does help you eat.
Yes, she does.
Right.
Yes, she does.
She'll cook up a good veggies and meat for Eric for dinner, and I'm always impressed with that. So big shout out, Denise. Keep up the good work.
Get yourself a good woman like Denise.
Next question is from Jason. Jason says, what makes a disc more stable or understable? Can you help us understand why discs become more understable with use, or why 2 discs that look so much alike can have dramatically different flight paths based on slight variations in the mold?
It's all about, like, the wing on the disc. If it's tilted up a little bit, maybe it's going to be understable, and if it's just a little bit down, it's going to be more overstable. It's hard to say. I mean, that's probably more of a question for Tomas or somebody that knows more of the mechanics or the engineering side of making a disc and knowing what needs to go into it, how it's supposed to fly. But cool. But what was the last part of that again?
Oops, I was trying to get ready for the next one. Why 2 discs that look so much alike can have dramatically different flight paths based on slight variations in the mold?
Yeah, I mean, that's same situation, kind of a Tomas thing. If anything, you could go and ask that identical question on the Facebook page and tag Tomas in it, and he'd be more than happy to come. I
remember one time when he was here at Glassman Open, and someone asked something similar to that, because I remember his answer was he found it amazing how the slightest change in
Yeah.
the shape or the
Lifting the
mold,
wing up
yeah,
or down
the
or
tiniest of changes, he says, can affect the flight plate or the flight of the disc because you have certain tops and then you put a certain bottom and then you make a little change and then you have a change on the top. It's just, he said he was just amazed at how the slightest changes can make it the big difference. Even though to your eye you're looking at the two discs, you're like, oh well, they're the same thing. Well, they're going to fly a little different because they're spinning fast, they're in the wind, and it's going to react different in the wind. So all right, well, we're hitting up on the hour mark, so we're going to go ahead and call it quits for this particular show. We have a few questions left over. We will get to them first thing on the next show, but we want to make sure that this show doesn't keep running on and on and on. We appreciate everybody listening, and of course, you guys at YouTube watching.
Yes.
Make sure that you go to. You can listen to us on iTunes. You can listen to us on your Stitcher app. Pretty much any podcast app that'll pick up our feed, or you can just go straight to our website, discgolfanswerman.com, and listen straight from the website there. If you're a big iTunes or Stitcher listener, do us a favor, hit the write a review link and write a review for us. It just kind of helps us rank high whenever people search disc golf. It'll help them find the show that much faster because we rank higher in the ratings for this particular category. What else we got going on? Let's see. For this week, we're going to finish that in the bag for you.
In the bag.
And I'll have that produced and released. We'll try to get it by the weekend, put out there so people can enjoy that. Make sure you pick up a Latitude 64 DG luxury bag. Pick that up at dynamicdisc.net or your other favorite. Why would you have another favorite disc golf retailer? But just to be fair, everybody keeps saying, why do you keep... Anyway, go to your favorite disc golf retailer and pick up that disc. Ask for it if they don't have it. Pick up a Michelin. Comes out June 6th. Very unique disc. Again, high speed. Speed doesn't necessarily mean distance, but it could mean more distance for you. If you've got that arm.
Pick up a Fusion.
A Fusion Enforcer. Where did that go?
I don't know. It's so fast, it's gone.
It's so turned hard fast and it's gone. Fusion Enforcer, pick that up. If you love the Lucid Enforcer, chances are you're going to love a Fusion Enforcer.
A little more distance out of it.
Yeah, you need one in your bag for sure. AT&T, the disc golf experience at AT&T Stadium, again, super pumped. I'll apologize right now, but we're probably going to talk about it on every show until it happens because
it's
we're
kind
just
of a
so
big
pumped.
deal.
And people are getting signed up, a lot of them. Yes. I was talking to Clay this morning, and we were both raising our eyebrows going, wow, people are excited about this, so make sure you get signed up.
Yes, and then a couple things I have real quick.
Go for it.
If you go to my website, which is ericmccabe11674.com, you can pick up some raffle tickets.
Oh, yeah.
For my basket that I'm giving away on July 12th.
Oh.
And
you don't have to be present to win,
You do not have to be present to win.
Okay.
You just have to have tickets to win. And on the website, you'll see the link. And on the drop-down box, it says 1 basket, 5 basket, 10 baskets. Those baskets are technically tickets. But the way PayPal works, you're not supposed to sell raffle tickets.
Right.
And... yeah, so we'll just leave it at that. So just go there, check that out. There's also, I found a box of Ralphwear shirts.
I noticed you had some bags like you were sending out.
Yeah, so I sent some out yesterday.
Nice.
Ralphwear. He's Ralph. He's the man. So those I've got. I don't have very many left, but I may have one in your size if you're looking for one. And we both appreciate the support.
You know what you should do? You should give away a T-shirt and call it a raffle.
Raffle. A raffle. Maybe I'll give a raffle away for every 10 tickets I sell. For
there you go. A raffle.
A raffle.
Raffle. Okay, so anyway, make sure you pick those up again at his website, ericmccabe11674.com. And then, of course, search for Eric on Twitter. He's out there always posting pictures on Instagram. Check us out at Dynamic Disc, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I think that's all we have for you guys.
I think so. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening, guys. And watching.
And watching.